Is China now openly rehearsing to sink the U.S. Navy, using giant life-size targets in the desert to practice how it would strike American warships in a future conflict? With a new mock U.S. destroyer spotted in the sands, is Xi Jinping effectively daring Washington, signaling that Beijing is preparing to take on its rival at sea? China has just built a life-size replica of a U.S. destroyer in the desert, turning a remote test range into a full-scale stand-in for American frontline ships. Has the U.S. China shadow war now entered a far more dangerous phase, where both sides quietly model and target each other's hardware long before any shot is fired? As U.S. China rivalry intensifies, Beijing has built yet another mock U.S. warship in the desert, expanding a bizarre fleet of sand-based targets. Fresh satellite images show a new U.S.-style destroyer replica laid out in Xinjiang's Taklamakan Desert, hundreds of kilometers from any real coastline. Analysts believe this mock warship is designed to test China's anti-ship missile capabilities, giving its forces realistic shapes and sizes to aim at. The structure closely resembles an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, one of the U.S. Navy's most common and important frontline ships. The feature was first flagged by Joseph Wu of the Taiwan Defense Studies Initiative, who highlighted the destroyer-like outline on commercial imagery. Earlier satellite shots from Ruoqiang showed a mock U.S. carrier and 2 destroyers, suggesting this is only the latest in a series of U.S. ship replicas. Defense analysts have long identified Ruoqiang as a key test site for anti-ship ballistic missiles, where China trials weapons meant to hit moving targets at sea. Other imagery has shown missile strike debris scattered around the mock hulls, evidence that these replicas are being actively used as live-fire targets. The U.S. 7th Fleet, which patrols around Taiwan and across the Western Pacific, relies heavily on Arleigh Burke destroyers for air defense and strike missions. By copying the Arleigh Burke's outline, Beijing appears to be training to hit real U.S. warships at sea, not just generic silhouettes on a radar screen. Militaries around the world build replica targets to test weapons under realistic conditions, allowing them to measure damage patterns and adjust guidance. The U.S. has done something similar, constructing mock Chinese air defense systems on test ranges to practice how to suppress them in a conflict. Experts say Beijing is racing to refine long-range strike options against enemy warships, hoping to keep U.S. carriers and escorts at greater distance. China has also built scale replicas of central Taipei at 2 major training bases, hinting at detailed planning for possible urban operations in Taiwan. One training area reportedly includes mock-ups of Taiwan's presidential office, foreign ministry and judicial yuan, turning landmarks into practice targets. In 2015, state TV aired footage of PLA troops storming a mock presidential office during live drills, sending a blunt message about Beijing's contingency plans. Beijing has also showcased new anti-ship missiles in recent military parades, underlining that long-range strikes on ships are now central to its strategy. China's DF-15B missiles may actually be more useful than expected in penetrating modern missile defenses, according to analysts reassessing older systems after the Iran war. Lessons from Iran's recent conflict have boosted PLA interest in Xi's Dongfeng 15B short-range missiles, which are now being re-examined as serious tools for breaking air and missile defense networks. A Chinese study argued that missiles equipped with biconic warheads can rival hypersonic weapons in evasion, because of their ability to change path late in flight rather than just fly faster. The report drew on Iranian claims that their missiles repeatedly penetrated U.S. missile shields in the Gulf, challenging the reliability of Western interception systems. Iranian missiles fitted with maneuvering re-entry vehicles, or MRVs, reportedly gave Patriot and THAAD batteries serious problems by shifting trajectory during the terminal phase. Experts cite Iran's Thunder 500 and Fateh 1 as examples of MRV-equipped systems that managed to stress or bypass U.S.-supplied defense networks in recent exchanges. According to the Chinese report, the DF-15B shares key design features with these Iranian MRV missiles, reinforcing Beijing's belief in its continued battlefield value. Beijing has long viewed Patriot and THAAD deployments around its periphery as strategic threats, seeing them as part of a wider U.S. effort to limit China's missile deterrent. Analysts note that missiles following conventional ballistic paths are easier for missile shields to predict and intercept, because their trajectories are mathematically straightforward. By contrast, biconic maneuvering warheads can alter course in flight and disrupt intercept calculations, forcing defenders to cope with sudden changes in speed and angle. The DF-15BS warhead is believed to be able to maneuver after separation from the booster, making tracking and interception more complex for enemy radar and fire control systems. Chinese experts therefore argue that older DF-15B missiles remain cost-effective combat assets, especially when used in numbers and combined with more advanced systems. Open-source assessments say the DF-15B can carry different warhead types, including anti-radiation, electromagnetic pulse, EMP, and bunker-busting payloads, giving it flexible strike roles. Deployed from coastal units, DF-15B missiles could reportedly cover targets across Taiwan, the Ryukyu Islands, and as far as northern Luzon, fitting into China's broader regional strike doctrine.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.